Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another Market Mates episode. It's great to be back with you all on this lovely Tuesday morning, even though it is pouring outside for me right now here in Oz. Good morning to you, Craig. GM to everyone in the chat. Rero, good morning to you over in NZ. Look, a lot's happened overnight. We're going to talk about a lot. I got an airdrop, but only could claim 0.9%, so I can't wait to whinge about that in the episode. We're going to talk about Bitcoin outflows of ETFs reaching billions, Craig. We've also got Australian digital legislation still basically holding up exchanges in our country over here as well. Hyperliquid versus Solana, the battle of liquidity kings in 2026. AI agents, Craig, exploiting cash and scams. Plus, we've obviously had the Solstice airdrop. Hyperliquid reaches new all-time high over the last few days. But it maybe looks like the AI narrative is starting to cool down, except for tokens like Near, Craig, up 16% today. Ton as well, up another 10% today. So perhaps it's rotating from maybe the more degenerate side back into the majors. So we're talking the top of the pedal. So Render, Near, maybe Tau, all those sort of AI tokens, maybe Virtuals as well as another one that you could add into that ring. But GM to you, Brad, as well in the chat. How's things, Craig? How are you, mate? You doing a bit of research in the AI realm yet, or you're still very bearish? Talk to me. What's your take right now?
Good morning, everyone. Excuse me. Good morning, everyone. Good evening. I'm good. Looking forward to the good vibes jumping on with us in about half an hour, but we'll talk the market quickly. Dude, I'm good. Pouring down with rain here. Good day to lock in and look at some shit. How am I feeling about the market? Market looks good. I was jumping. I just had a quick look before. I see VVV might give me an entry, man. So I'm licking my dirty lips over that, my greasy lips. I see Ton's up 10%. So I was like, okay, I kind of might have missed that entry. I sort of undecided on Ton.
Same.
Whether I swing, I want a couple of plays where I swing quite heavy. And I'm just wondering if SERV or VVV might be one of those for me. Ton as well, man. Ton as well. So we can cover this in a sec. Bitcoin for me seems like it's on a knife's edge, man.
I was saying this. I'm bearish on Bitcoin.
Downside. And that's what I want. And everyone knows I've been craving this for months. I know you guys know that I'm craving lower than 59. Give it to me. Give it to me, market. So don't know if I'm going to get as low as that, but Bitcoin daily exchange volume looks horrendous. Search volume's horrendous. No one's talking about Bitcoin. Everyone's saying it's failed. It's all AI now. So there's a lot of narrative pressure to drive Bitcoin lower. Ethereum, a lot of people talking about Ethereum being over, man, on the timeline. The hate towards ETH at the moment is the highest I've ever seen.
Shout out to Anson for commenting on my tweet last night saying Ethereum is a shitcoin. His words, calling ETH a shitcoin.
Interesting. Fair. I guess I would go by his definition of thinking then everything's a shitcoin, including what he's in. If he's going to say that, I see what he's saying. I don't know. Actually, no, I disagree. I don't think it's a shitcoin.
It's the infrastructure is bullish. We've spoken about. To an extent, I get his take because I kind of agree. The token has underperformed. But
I think he likes the outrage associated with the word.
You're also talking to the biggest coal on the bloody timeline, whose whole job is to literally tweet for a living, earning 6 figures a year to tweet. Of course, he's going to comment dumb shit all the time, controversial stuff, of course, blah blah blah. And yet he'll come and comment on something that I do controversial, And it's so funny. The irony, Craig, on crypto Twitter is hilarious. GM to you, Poe. GM to you, Hugo, as well in the chat.
Ansem, who's his co-host?
Yeah, dude, I don't even want to talk about that guy on the show.
Everything. If that's your co-host, bro, put it this way, bro, you are who you associate with.
Exactly.
That's what I've learned in life.
Yeah. And look, I don't mind. Sorry, you go.
I was going to say, some people seem squeaky clean. I actually like Ansem. I dug his shit on the timeline, 2022, 23, Solana. His stuff was well written, bro. Some really great posts back in the day. Great.
I think he's a great trader. Yeah, I agree.
But then, he's hanging out at bars with Iggy Azalea, bro, shilling Mothercoin, bro. He is what he hates. He is what he hates as well, or what he says he hates.
The inside jobs, Craig, that he wouldn't disclose. I'm sure there would be countless examples of that. And as you said, like, well, just to clarify for people who maybe don't know who Ansem is, he's the largest crypto col on Twitter. That, like, outside of your big analysts over the last like few years, like Crypto Banter, Ben Cowan, etc. Ansem is the CT guy. Like, he is the top of the CT, bigger than Kobe, I would say. And Kobe's really kind of fallen off as well.
Probably more relevant than Kobe now, eh?
Yeah, he's more relevant. And I agree. Ansem's a great trader. He's a great analyst. He's a great shit poster. But when you go and partner with FaZe Banks, who's literally scammed people countless times, and like that whole era as well, like I lose a lot of respect for people like you. Yeah, I do.
So it must have been a good payday for him to jump on that show. Let's put it that way. Ansem's getting paid, so respect Ansem. But
yeah.
No, I don't know about. He should have done it, bro. He could have done a banger show with Maine or something like that, you know. Like, anyway,
they're all interviewing each other, like Thread Guy and stuff. Like, they're all interviewing each other as well into that crowd. It's just like the American Canadian.
It's just Rasma and Thread Guy, how they collabed with Frank D Gods a year or two ago, and they all interviewed each other and pulled each other off for the same.
No, I mean, but that's it. Like, they're all
big cash, man. They're all
growing it. Yeah, it's hard. Hey, and who are the Aussie calls? Hey, who wants to jump on our show and we can talk smack with Aussies? Hey, there's not many out there.
We need a good old-fashioned Aussie scammer on the show. Should get Albanese on. He'd be great.
Albanese, the biggest scammer in the country. Oh, I love it. I love it. Anyways, hey, enough about that. We got lots to cover today. Craig, Ton bouncing from its golden pocket after a pullback after the news of the foundation taking back over the blockchain. I'm quietly bullish on this, but again, I've read a few things this morning. It's like, are they going to focus on the AI meta? Are they going to focus on the privacy meta? Because arguably Telegram is the most private and secure social platform in the world. We use it. I'm literally running my Mac Mini / my Hermes agent through it right now. I set it up overnight. So yeah, my agent. So in future episodes, if you hear me relate to my agent, his name. Look at me, I'm giving it a bloody
gender
already.
I'm giving it. Identify him.
Otto is its name. So Otto is my agent, and we will be destroying the world together in terms of innovation. So I can't wait to look at. I mean, a few things I still need to work on, and it is tedious. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, Zeneca was like, we caught up with him whenever that was, a month ago, and he's like, "Oh, I'd only take you a couple hours." Nah, bro. It took me like 4 or 5 hours to get it to do one cron job. It did one cron job this morning, which is an automatic process. However, I wanted it to give me a morning brief, but that didn't quite fire. So I need to change a few things today. So I have spent a bit of time, but hey, look, I get that. Like, to set it all up, I'm probably going to spend maybe $50 with API usages and whatnot to get it ready. But it's all via Telegram. It's fantastic, dude. It's insane. Like, I literally have it sitting here. I can use it on my phone. I can use it on my laptop. I can use it on my computer. All embedded via literally my Mac Mini sitting over here, completely separate. So Rero says Ton already thrives with AI, so many projects rely on it. Dude, I feel like, for me, Craig, as I said yesterday on the show, I generally feel like it's just I'm avoiding Bitcoin. Don't get me wrong. I've got some buy orders in the low 60s, 50s, if we do see it. But I really think, dude, Hugo, I'll do some videos. I want to get some videos going. I want to just make sure it's all set up. It's an absolute bastard. I'm not gonna lie. It's an absolute bastard. And to set up, because you also have to then relay, you're going back and forth with like a chat bot, for example. I was going with Claude, but then I bloody hit my rate limit. So I was like, well, stuff you, Claude. I honestly need to stop my subscription with Anthropic. It's nowhere near as good as ChatGPT anymore. And particularly if I'm not going to be using it day to day anymore, I'll be just talking to my agent. But yeah, no, I'll do some videos on it. Then I'll obviously do more videos about trading and crypto integration, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, no, it's exciting, Craig. And I mean, I agree. Like, I generally think Ton is just a no-brainer. And I feel like, for me, Craig, I would rather own some of these altcoins than I would rather own Bitcoin. Am I out to lunch? Am I out to lunch for that take? Or
no, I don't think so. I think they solve a problem that Bitcoin doesn't. So that's probably a good thing. If you can find a coin that does something that Bitcoin can't, and it does it better, or just does it and Bitcoin doesn't, and there's a use case for it, then I think it's got upside. Ton, for me, is one of those plays Do I just buy a bag of this and I hold it for a couple of years or something? Like,
that's kind of honestly, I think obviously I would prefer it to pull back deeper, but it has pulled back considerably here. Like it's already down. I mean, it was down 40%. It's down 33% from that breakout. So arguably that's a nice corrective wave, a 51% move back to at least that high. My thoughts being is like, it could come down a little bit further, but honestly, not that much, maybe 20%. So yeah, look, I won't lie. I literally just bought some.
oh, did you?
Yeah. But
Anytime.
mainly just for the long term. I agree with your take. It's you're betting on privacy. You're betting, as Rero says here, you're betting on AI, and you're betting on billions of users. Sorry, I might not say billions, but I would say aren't there
I'll look it
billions
up.
of people on Telegram? How many people on Telegram?
There'd
Chat,
be
is it?
loads, bro, because it's like every crypto. Oh, here we go. So officially surpassed 1 billion
Yeah, okay.
monthly active users.
That's insane, dude. And like,
Wow.
sure, don't get me wrong.
Active
Probably
as well.
people, it might be bots and stuff as well. Like it's hard, but they've got active users. Yeah. So for me specifically, Ton, yeah, it's definitely one to. That's why I look at. I mean, if you look at my top alt, I should move XRP down. It shouldn't be at the top. I've even moved Hyperliquid up into the top 4, Craig. That's how bullish. Well, not bullish, but that's how bullish you should be on Hyperliquid, because it's now a major in my eyes. In my way, I've got BTC, ETH, Solana, Hype. Then I should move XRP down. There's no chance I'm buying that. But yeah, Ton, keep it on your radar. It's bounced obviously from the golden pocket. That's a really nice pullback in my opinion. Whether we come lower, depending on what happens in the market conditions, we'll wait and see. But ultimately, yeah, I really don't mind this from a narrative fundamental perspective and a technical. Like you have potentially as well, Craig. Like you had a massive breakout. You then have a potential higher low forming anywhere here. Like wherever this higher low forms is ultimately a change in market structure. Like that's exactly what you want to be looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And in 6 months' time, you'll look back at this and probably, as long as conditions suit this, as always, hypothetical speculation.
Yes.
Nothing is financial advice on the show. The point being is wherever that low forms in that region, okay, that's a macro high low compared to this rounding structure bottom here. As long as it doesn't really break below sort of $1.50, even if it wicks below reclaims, that'd be fine for me. But that's your rounding bottom, okay? Like that's your reaccumulation range. Breakout, higher low form, anywhere here, and bang, we're off to the races. That's literally like that's what I want to see on Bitcoin, but we haven't even had that on Bitcoin, right? So yeah, that's exactly the sort of thing that'd be looking at. Zcash, we can look at Zcash. I personally am avoiding it and I'm not really going to short. I think it's too hard to try and short strength. Strength being Zcash, strength being Hyperliquid. Like you're going against the whole trend over the past few months of these tokens. So like the net, like unless you capture, it's very different, right? And it's a time perspective thing too. Like we've been in a corrective move since October last year.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, why? I'm not. It's the time to really look for a macro swing short. Probably has ended. So you need to be favoring. Yeah. Okay, I'm not trying to capture a short unless you're scalp trading and actively trading like we do inside GTG, and we talk about that analysis every day. Looking for a swing short to play out over weeks probably is past us unless something goes astronomically high and then has a big pullback, kind of like Ton, for example. You know, I would rather wait for a pullback and look to long or look to add spot. Like that's again, time-based analysis and time-based in this bear market. Again, this being my 4th bear market. For me specifically, I'd wait until that happens. And then from there, I'll start to make decisions as well. So another token, Craig, that's up tremendously over the past. I mean, look at this. Look at this. This is up from the past, literally, when was that? 4th of May to today. In the past 28 days, is up 126%. And this is crazy because this is like low time frame 2024. Like if you zoom out on this bad boy, it could go all the way to $20. Like it's still 10x from its all-time high.
It's actually quite a good chart, dude.
It is a good chart. It is a good chart. I will disclose. I bought some more. I bought some near over the past.
That's actually quite a nice. I like these in bear markets. These are nice in bear markets, man, because so often, no, actually, I'm going to take that back so often. If you find the right tokens, these do recover and they can, these here, I'm not sure, can't remember what I can call the formation. It's almost like a WA. It sort of goes like that.
Rounding bottom, right? Like you got a potentially rounding bottom here or a reaccumulation range, Craig. If it comes back and does something like this, like that's
exactly what I want Bitcoin to do, by the way, structurally. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So NIA looks like it's kind of further ahead on the bear market progress than Bitcoin for me. This looks like it's coming out of it. Dude. This Ton and NIA.
Yeah.
It's how good that we're starting to talk about things we can buy.
Yeah.
It's great, dude. It's so good. So good.
Yeah, like, I mean, this chart, I mean, and let me pull up this one as well. I think I showed it earlier in the week. And we will get to some of the articles. It's just important to talk about tokens, because these tokens are outperforming. This is TON versus Bitcoin, Craig. So very similar to what you note on the USD chart, okay? I mean, you could argue that's probably the high as well. But very important note here is this is exactly the sort of bottom formation that we saw. I mean, white's probably a poor choice of color. Let me just change all these colors, guys. So if you are listening, you won't be able to see the visual of this. So do go to Market Mates on YouTube so you can watch back the replays if you get a chance. Point being, what we note here is exactly the sort of bottom that you look for, okay? You have a big crash or a corrective move. Then you see price go sideways. Then you have a deviation, like not only once, but twice, okay? A big deviation below the fair value, okay? The liquidation wick got taken out as well, like big one there. Love to see it. Then you reclaim with strength. And if this obviously breaks above this order block here on the weekly then yeah, this could be off to the races. This was your bottom. Alternatively, you could have a breakout retest, or you could reject from here, retest, or you pull back into this massive FEG and you see a higher low into this potential. I mean, we did go straight through it, so it's invalidated. But basically, pull back into this FEG and you go ballistic. But this is how a bottom is formed. You have a distribution at the bottom, and we're off to the races. So NEAR versus BTC also looking very good compared. Like, there's not many tokens out there that are showing strength against Bitcoin, and that's a big thing. I mean, like, just to compare a competitor to NEAR, or a competitor or part of the same sector, if whatever you want to call it. If we look at TAL versus BTC, it hasn't done anything just yet. It's still, as you can see here, it had multiple distributions above the high. So it hasn't quite broken out here. So that's, again, if you're looking into this, again, we talk about this sort of stuff in GTG every day. Highly recommend you check it out. The link is in the description down below. The point being is you want to be in the trades that are outperforming at relevant times. You want to be taking an active approach. And if you look at TAL versus BTC, yeah, that looks pretty good. It looks like it's found a bottom here. It's reaccumulating literally since March last year. Can it break up from here is the question. Whereas, as I just showed you before, Craig, the chart on NEAR BTC is literally crazy, like pumping. It's absolutely pumping right now. So I think that's a really important reminder for people is to, like, sure, you need to look at the USD chart, but you also need to look at the Bitcoin chart if you're comparing an asset, even in the same asset class. Like, because it's all about holistically portfolio risk management, risk awareness, all those sorts of things. If you're trying to plan a portfolio, ultimately, if you're bullish on a sector, okay, it doesn't even have to be these tokens that we're talking about. You're bullish on a sector, meme coins, for example. Okay, what you should be doing is looking at, well, what has the most sentiment, like fundamental, like who's talking about it? It doesn't have a lot of community holders. Is it very viral as a meme? Okay, all these sorts of things. Second would be technicals. Okay, well, what is it doing on a USD chart? So is it outperforming? Yeah, it looks really good. Okay, so say Pepe was always bigger than Mock. Okay, is a great example. Third point is, okay, well, let's compare them against Bitcoin. And if one of them is showing more strength, well, then that's probably the one you want to go after. Okay. And sure enough, Pepe went to 12 billion. Mog went to only 1.5 billion. They both started in the low $100 million range. Point being is, take your analysis to the next level. If you don't have time to take your analysis to the next level, even though you'd love to do that or you want to do that, join me in GTG, ping me and say, Greeny, I'm looking at this altcoin. Greeny, what are your thoughts on this? And I'll bloody talk your ear off for hours, because that's how addicted I am to this bloody industry we call crypto, and I fucking love it. But point being is I need to stop saying point being. It's my new saying I keep referring to. I was literally about to say it again. The process you need to go through needs to be a whole range of things. Okay, it can't be just, majority of people don't even do any of that. Majority of people just go, people are talking about Zcash, I'm just going to buy it, right? You need to look at the technicals. You need to look at the technicals against Bitcoin. You need to look at the sentiment. You need to look at the community. You need to look at the holder distribution. You need to look at the fundamentals. Okay, you need to look at the potential roadmap of it. Does it fit the narratives that the world's moving in? Okay, all of that should come into your thesis as a whole thesis into your trading plan, and then you allocate accordingly. That should be a decision literally you should make for every trade that you take. If you aren't making decisions like that, Craig, you're gambling. It's as simple as that. So if we look at this is TAL versus Bitcoin. very much not too bad. And not too bad. I'm going to set an alert here in case it does break higher. Wait. Oh, can I know? Okay, so I can't. Okay, I can't do the one against BTC. But point being, Craig, if we look at this near versus BTC, very strong breakout for the first time in a long time. Okay, near versus BTC here,
Yeah,
and it's up. I'm going to say that's up multiple X's now off the low. Okay, literally in the past week. Yeah, it's same percentage in USD as BTC, up 120% in the past week. So that's pretty crazy to think about.
I like the look of that. I need some of that. Near looks good. Tau. I mean, yeah, probably keep an eye on that one too, like you said.
Yeah.
There's probably a good 10 tokens to actually keep an eye on at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's a good bunch now. There's a good bunch. There wasn't very many. Now there's a few. Okay, cool. The boys are on. Yeah, dude. Near looks really. Are you in Near?
Yeah, I bought a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, good. You got a bit of spot.
Yeah. So I have bought a bit of spot Near. Yeah. And like, I mean, again, longer term, I'm just literally buying and holding for probably a year plus, in my opinion. So, we'll bring Chris up from Good Vibes Club very soon, probably the next 10 minutes or so. We'll just briefly talk through some of the other tokens. So Zcash obviously is up tremendously as well on the back of just this whole privacy narrative. Hyperliquid at a very crucial level, Craig. I spoke about this on the show yesterday. Got slammed on the timeline for putting a tweet up about comparing Hyperliquid distribution to Ethereum distribution. It was funny because a lot of people were bullish on Ethereum in the comments. A lot of people were bullish on Hyperliquid in the comments. But hey, it is a chart, and a chart is unemotional. And the point being is you need to always just keep an eye on what potentially could happen. What could potentially happen. So Hyperliquid, very crucial level here. Yeah, decisive area. I mean, it really depends on what Bitcoin and the rest of the market wants to do. Asteroid broke down, shared this in GTG as well over the last few days. We spoke about how memes have really suffered. We spoke about this yesterday, I think, on the show, Craig, about how it was showing weakness here at support. So that's a live trade as of, the last 24 hours. But Craig, the big news for me overnight is my SLX Solstice airdrop. I got 214,000 tokens, which is actually less. I think I had 218,000. They came out and promoted and said, oh, we've changed a few things and people are getting more. Oh, I got less. I had 218 apparently, but now it's down to 214. Anyways, Craig, I could only unlock 0.9% of my airdrop. 0.9%, not even 90. That's not even 1%. So I dumped $355 straight into the 0.2 trade right now where price is currently trading. I did trade a little breakout this morning on a long, actually. In GTG as well. But Craig, so basically the process here for anyone in Solstice is if you didn't register, your tokens are gone. If you don't claim, it's crazy, dude. If you don't claim in a 10-day period, your tokens are gone. If you fall below the TVL, which is very aggressive too. I know someone on the timeline who only got like 5,000 SLX has to have 25 grand on the platform to maintain the TVL to unlock a 3-month vesting period. If you don't maintain the TVL throughout that period, you potentially lose the unvested tokens. And the comms around this whole situation has been pretty poor. They did previously, I don't know if this is a typo, we're chatting about in GTG this morning, but basically, Fabiano said this morning, promises a community first, no VC airdrop, delayed TGE 3 times, Binance Alpha could claim first, drop vesting news last minute, low float, high FTV, 3 months to 9 months locked. Zeet users have to wait 41 days after TGE, even though we bull posted your bloody thing for you. 10 days to claim, and it vanishes forever. This is really disappointing because literally a month ago or 6 weeks ago, they said most allocations unlock 100% at claim. And we have people inside GTG who only got a couple thousand SLX, and they only had access to 20% of their airdrop, Craig. So I think a lot of people are pretty disappointed. Look, I get it. All airdrops trend to zero ultimately, except for stuff like Hyperliquid is a rare example. 99% of them do go to zero. It's just disappointing that more companies need to focus on communication. And I mean, we'll probably talk about that with Chris from Good Vibes Club too, about how important community is, how important communication is, announcements are, and all that sort of stuff. But it's just wild, dude. You can't come out like 6 weeks later when it's at the time and only release the vesting news at the day of the claim. It's pretty unfair in my opinion, but it is what it is. So yeah. Anyways, as a side person to this, Craig, what are your thoughts on this process for me? So my current airdrop, just to be clear, is sitting at about a $43,000 airdrop if I had access.
So good, bro.
But I mean, people like Walls who have like multiple, like more than that, they're sitting 6 figures deep. So I get it. Like without like the communication makes me want to dump this even more now. But I think about it, like a lot of people are going to dump it, man. Like it's going to send the token down. So are they going to crime the token for a few weeks, for a few months while the claims slowly unlock? I get my first claim unlock, I think it's in July. And then my last claim unlock is, or it's like a vesting period in September. So I have to wait multiple months now before I can claim my full allocated amount. I wonder where the token's going to be in about that. I mean, what's that, like 4 months away? I wonder where it's going to be then, Craig. Anyways, what are your thoughts here before we bring Chris up in a couple of minutes?
Yeah, pretty. I mean, on the team's part, I mean, there's a bit of a difference between lack of communication and lying.
Yeah.
This doesn't look like a lack of communication, and it doesn't look like a misunderstanding either. Like you've got it highlighted there in red.
Yeah.
What it says, that's from them, so it's not a miscommunication. Most allocations unlock 100% a claim. That's pretty clear. It's like most humans on the planet are going to read that the same way. Yeah. So it's not just you misunderstanding. That's just a team, unfortunately, lying, which probably doesn't bode well for the token. But you got a fat airdrop, bro. Like
I've got a fat airdrop at current prices.
You just can't get to it. So there's a big bag of money. It looks like Schweppes was saying it's worth about 60K.
Yeah, initially when it came out and price was at like 0.3, it was worth 60 grand. Yeah, look,
that's a lot of money.
Like I put I'm gonna say like 5 grand in and out of the platform. I bull posted it for Zeet for months. It's disappointing that I'm going to have to wait, and hopefully the token, I mean, even at 10 cents, I still get 20 grand, right? So even if it goes down, 50%, hopefully I still get 20 grand. So we'll wait and see. But
still a good little win though, man. Like it's a bummer you've got to wait for it. That's kind of shitty. Like you must be absolutely frothing to get 60K out of the market right now. Like I'd be like,
dude, that's so much money, bro. That's so much money.
Imagine what you could do with 60 grand. In the market right now. Like if you could plow that into, I mean, we just went over 3 coins. You could put 20K into each of them, bro, for free, basically.
And then just sit back for a couple of years. Exactly, man.
And you could say to yourself, even if they pull back, you're like, well, I mean, not that that's the right thing to do, but you can be like, well, I put in 5 grand and I've ended up with 60K. Who gives a, like, YOLO that money, bro. And I'd go for another 3X on it somewhere.
Well, I'm just lucky because I took my money out earlier than a lot of other people, and so I only have to have I'll share it on screen. I only have to have 750 as my TVL to qualify for the 3 months vesting period. Whereas as I said before, that other person who's only getting a couple of $100 for an airdrop with SLX tokens, they had 25 grand. I was like, okay, this seems very, because they changed it from a point of time where whatever the amount you had on the platform was the date cutoff for the TVL you had, to a combined based on volume and the amount that you had on the platform. So I got lucky compared, but I mean, we'll wait and see. 214K just sitting there in SLX tokens at 20 cents per pop. We'll have to wait and see how this trades. Any last comments? We got a couple more articles, and we will bring Chris on. If we have to go overtime, hopefully Chris is fine with that, but we're happy to go overtime.
Yeah, no real comments apart from I just feel a bit bad for yourself and the rest of the holders. Cool. Chris said he's cool with us going a bit longer. Sorry, Chris, we'll just smash out these articles.
There's just so much to talk about. I mean, how good is that? We're in a bear market period, and we're talking about so many things. And
it is great. It is really good because the few months prior were quite dry, weren't they? Apart from Trump and Iran, that was the only news.
Well, I mean, we're not even going to comment on that anymore because there's been updates still, like really just ambiguity there and chaos over there. So we're not going to comment on that anymore. But basically, this is big news, Craig, because Bitcoin ETFs bleed $1.26 billion in 6 straight days of outflows. I love when you see people on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube, inflows of billions of dollars. But why aren't they posting the same stuff when it goes outflows? Hey, it's pretty pathetic because, and we've said this for a while, it's a vanity metric. Tracking inflows, outflows really isn't anything important in my opinion.
No, not really. And it just continues on. And yeah, this is what makes me think maybe the ETFs won't pad us as much as people like at the bottom, man. Like, they've not padded us thus far. Did they even take us higher? Did they? Was that bull run higher, do you think? I don't think so.
Oh, maybe the narrative of it. Maybe the narrative of it.
Yeah. But according to the FIB levels and everything, it kind of hit where I thought it would, regardless of ETF.
And like max inflows were at all-time highs or breakouts higher, and max outflows are when Bitcoin dumped. So like, yeah, it's a vanity metric in my opinion. Whenever you see anybody, it's literally an unfollow metric. If I see someone talk about it, I'm like, okay, unfollow.
No, I think a lot of actually no, there is still people out there that use it though. Eh? There is still people that go so much inflow, and I'm like, oh my god. Anyway, bad, but looks like Bitcoin is going lower, guys. That's what
is it breaking right now? I haven't got it up on my screens. Last two topics before we bring Chris up from Good Vibes Club. Hyperliquid versus Solana, Craig. This is a big one. The battle of the liquidity king in 2026. Hyperliquid's fully diluted valuation has officially overtaken Solana's 50 billion to 56 billion. The margin, however, is thin. Is the market's way of saying the ranking is changing. So pretty crazy to think about. This chart obviously isn't working, but yeah, isn't Hyperliquid flipping Solana in diluted evaluation, which is pretty crazy. I mean, no surprise to see this. We've been speaking about Hyperliquid for a long time, but surpassed Solana in 7-day protocol fees as well, 12.6 million versus Solana's 11.8 million. Crossover that would have been dismissed and as implausible 12 months ago. That tells you everything you need to know about crypto and how you desperately need to stay up to date with what's happening in real time. Any comments or surprises there, Craig? Or
I think Solana's in a lot of trouble. Like, I think this bodes worse for Solana than it is bullish for Hype. Like, Hype is bullish, but Solana, Solana's like last bull runs Ethereum, man, for me.
When you've got Tolly saying, why would you hold the tokens as well? And he's the founder of Solana. Yeah, bro. Have you not seen that? It's everywhere over CT. Yeah, huge. Go look it up. He literally was like, oh, yeah, he basically the most bearish thing a founder should say about their token. Meanwhile, you've also got Vitalik selling Ethereum tokens as well. Fascinating. Plus their team, we spoke about that yesterday. Their team, a lot of their team members leaving. Interesting times in DeFi, interesting times in the majors. We might see. It
looks like these are reshuffling of the guard to me. It looks like, you know what's probably a good thing is crypto's maturing, and we're seeing. I think we're seeing that in real time, and perhaps investors are too. Maybe. Maybe they are. I say that, and then we'll see in 3 months' time there will be some coin called Poop something that goes to 10 billion, and I'll be like, no, we're not any better than we were. But
it's always going to still be the gambling nature, I think, or the speculative asset class. Like, there's no doubt about it. And probably the quickest way to get wealth is this crypto.
You know what's probably good, Greenie, about the emergence of AI is that we've actually got tokens to talk about that perhaps do something. That's probably the cool part because, you know, thanks, Mitri Sheikh. I probably butchered that name. Sorry, I butchered that. Thanks for the shout out. Yeah, because for the last, say, from 24 to 25, it was mostly memes, wasn't it? You and I spoke a lot about memes because that's where the money is, right? That's where the volume was. It's where the attention was. Obviously, on our show, we're going to point the viewers in the direction of where the action is. We're not going to point people out where there's 5 people trading. You want to go where all the people are trading. That's where the money is. And it's for me personally, I'm glad I get to talk about something else for a while because memes got very, very, very tiresome, man. For me,
yeah, for sure,
very tired.
Okay, last topic before we bring Chris up. I do apologize for the delay. There's just so much happening in the markets. AI agents versus DeFi. Anthropic reports simulates $4.6 million in exploits, Craig. This is going to continue evolving as a narrative. I just wanted to bring this up briefly because it's just that, previously hacked smart contracts, according to the Anthropic Fellows program. I mean, we had the Mythos update months ago, which probably will never go viral to accessible to the public. But one would argue that how powerful that thing is, it's no surprise to see exploits already happening and likely continuing to happen. And these are with just even GPT-5 and Claude Sonnet, okay, which isn't even like that's 3 models old now. Did not just flag bugs, but they synthesize complete exploit scripts, sequencing transactions, drained simulated liquidity in ways researchers described as clinically identical to real attackers on Ethereum and BNB chains, Craig. So we're going the emergence perhaps of an L1 that's completely AI protected and quantum protected. That might be the real narrative. Well, in the future, we'll have to wait and see if something emerges there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, well, any comment on that, Craig? Yeah, before we bring Chris up.
No, let's get the big fella up, man. Let's talk some good vibes.
Alrighties, just bear with me whilst I change the setup around. Hopefully this one works, but we'll see. We might need to just switch. No, we're all good. Chris, mate, thank you so much for jumping on. We'll just do a quick audio check. Are you coming through? Let's check.
Cool. How's it going? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. We got you.
All right. Thanks, dude. Great. Thanks for having me on, guys. This is awesome. Pumped to come hang.
Yeah, let's go. Mate. Your microphone's great, dude. The sound's great, and
let's go.
True to the name of Good Vibes, you seem in a good mood, bro. Let's go.
Hey, man, you guys have like the coolest accents ever. Anytime I'm like listening to the Aussie accent, dude, I'm like, this is freaking sick. I'm pumped, and so man, have to put the smile on, dude. It's a good time.
Thanks,
sorry,
dude.
Chris, can you say that again? Because my YouTube followers, subscribers, some of them hate my accent. They hate my accent.
It's the best, bro. The Aussies bring the absolute party like all the time, and it's the coolest. Honestly, it's one of the best accents. So, I'm a fan. So, like y'all need to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? You guys need to figure it out, like YouTube subscribers or whatever.
I agree. I've been around the world, and I reckon the Australian accent is one of the better ones. There's some.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, coming from South Africa and then hearing it from an outsider's perspective, probably South African accent's probably one of the worst, almost irritating. Aussie just sits kind of in the middle of a South African and an American, and Aussie's kind of in the middle, I reckon.
Yeah, it really is. It's like the cool version of the UK accent. You know what I'm saying? It's like if UK was like hella dope. Like that's what's up.
Agreed. I used to get confused. A lot of people, Americans at first, and actually Australians when I first moved to Australia used to think I had an English Cockney accent. I was like, Cockney?
Really?
Accent? Yeah, I'm like,
that's quite
up in the morning, governor.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, man, these Australians hadn't travelled before. They were in Melbourne and they'd never left the state. So I was like, you got to get out, brother. This is not a Cockney accent.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all.
I wish it was.
Hey, I mean,
No, we'll go. Enough about accents, boys. Let's talk the talk. So, Chris, first time I'm meeting you, first time I've seen you. So thank you for jumping on Market Mates. Shout out to Craig for getting you on as well. Maybe for people who don't know who you are and maybe don't know who Good Vibes Club are, give us a little bit of an intro about the collection, the where it came from and where it currently is today.
Yeah, actually, thanks so much for having me, guys. And it's honestly been a long journey. It's been a dope journey. So it's GVC. Essentially, my brother and I started a collection called Good Vibes Club a little over a year ago. I think we minted in March of 2025. And it's been a labor of love. So before GVC, we owned an animation studio and we got to work for, a lot of dope clients like Google, Facebook, kind of all those bigger sort of tech companies and whatnot, doing a lot of commercial animation stuff. And we sort of saw the trajectory of like AI and how important, identity is. And, we had been involved in the space for quite some time, not as founders, but just as participants. And so over 3 years, we started in like 2021 working on GVC, launched the collection in March of 2025. And it's been a awesome time since. I think that it was like the number one like new collection of 2025. Kind of came at a moment when the coins were like, the trenches were rough and things were bloody back then. And so we launched when really no NFTs were kind of launching. And we've had a great time building a really awesome community. So today we're doing a lot of really fun stuff. We have a hackathon going on right now. We're doing a lot with AI and whatnot. And so that's really cool. We're basically just trying to empower builders because we really believe in this concept of co-creation and like co-building alongside community, because that's ultimately what I think is the superpower of IP and Web3. And so, yeah, man, it's been a blast. That's kind of the gist of it. Hopefully that gives a little bit of a brief overview, but happy to dive in further.
Yeah, no, I love that. I mean, I'm a big fan of the collection. I don't own any, but a big fan of the collection. I like trait diversity, and I like colors, and I think it really, and as you said, like rightly so, was determined as like the best sort of NFT collection coming out of the 2025 sort of era, particularly after the back of post 21, 22 era, when arguably there was so many just bad derivatives or people trying to chase a big buck. So it was really cool to see this really thrive. And I mean, there's a few people out there who I think Bren on the show, Craig, he has a Good Vibes Club where he used to have one as a PFP as well, a gold one from memory. So I do see these on the timeline for sure. So Craig, I'll handball over to you, legend, for the next question.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, I mean, one of the things that I notice about Good Vibes Club when you come across people repping the PFP is they all pretty upbeat and bullish about the project. What is it that you guys are doing? You guys don't get fudded much as other projects. What is it that you guys think you're doing differently to kind of curate such a great bunch of holders? What is it that you're doing to keep them so happy, basically? What are you doing differently?
Well, I think that, like, you kind of touched on it earlier. It's communication. It's honestly curating the right sort of people. Like, we are sort of this hybrid between like fine art, collectible, and also PFP. Like, the approach that we kind of took to it was, dude, it started in November of 2021. It took 3 years, I think, like over 5 or 10,000 hours, like a lot of hours. Yeah, right. During that time, just sort of like building while everyone else was kind of, chugging along. And so I guess, like, my answer to that question would be, we really try to communicate a lot. We kind of keep it focused on like what matters, which is ultimately community. It's ultimately not just about like floor. It's a lot of our collectors are art collectors that are really focused on like those grail traits, right? Like, we have people who are really obsessed with like the hoodies or, the golds or, the beards, right? Like, there's all these different sort of niches. And I think that it kind of just goes to a little bit of the culture of what we aimed to build with it, which was, all that time was spent for a reason, because I really believe in like the fidelity of the art. Like, that's hugely important to me. And really having that like individualistic sort of silhouette diversity, like going into like extreme like detail and nuance when it comes to color, trait curation. Like, every single trait has its own rule set, like in terms of like its design system. And so really going deep there, I think meant a lot for like the collectors that value art and value like grail traits and curation. And so I think it's part that. I think it's part like aiming to kind of have this sort of lens of gratitude on the world that isn't bullshit. It's like, that's the concept of GVC. It's rooted in like, okay, can we wake up and be grateful for something even when the world is burning or whatever? Like, that I think is powerful. And then obviously, we're kind of in the Discord every day. We're with community every day. We're showing up and we're hanging out and we're kind of shipping a lot of stuff like at all times. We just shipped a game, our first game, I think a week ago, which was pretty sweet, called Pin Drop. It's like a mobile game. Yeah, it's dope, dude. It's actually got like this little our token is called Vibester. It has like a ability to like buy and use Vibester in the game. We've already burnt like I think a few 100,000 Vibester, which is really fun. So yeah, man, it's just a lot of honestly like building alongside community. A lot of incentive alignment, because we're holders of all of our assets. Like, I have a ton of grails because I just love to collect. And then, of course, hanging out and building relationships, because that's what it's about.
Yeah, no, that's no, I love that. I mean, community is everything. And the fact that and that's something, as Craig said before, like the fact that so many people, from a community sense, have only ever really bull posted, it tells you everything you need to know about internal as well as external. A few follow-up questions there. So I remember a big thing, I think, way back when it first launched was potentially the how do I say this? Like the comparison to Doodles, because obviously Doodles was the big one around sort of maybe the 2D colorful art. And then a lot of people maybe early were fudding around, oh, is this just a 3D version of a Doodle? How did you combat that? Because I remember that was a big focus of a lot of people for a while. And CT can be brutal. I mean, literally, as I said earlier in the show, I put a tweet up last night and the top dogs are commenting on that. So like, talk us through how you kind of dealt with that to really navigate your own lane, because it would be hard, because as you said, like, you've got a full background, you've got this animation company, all that sort of stuff. But ultimately, yeah.
Ironically, did you know that the name of our studio is called Toast, by the way? Ironically.
Yeah, no, I literally just saw, I had a look at the profile. I was like, oh, dude, that's wild. So isn't that wild?
And that actually confused me a little bit when I saw that. I was like, wait a minute.
It's
Yeah,
just a
sorry,
little
you
bit of
go.
happenstance, you know, because like for us, like we were really welcoming of like all communities, like apes, penguins, doodles, Azukis, really everybody. And I think that when you start to really dig deep into the actual like analysis of the art of the collection, yes, the similarity in like the facial expression being like kind of like somewhat sort of, you know, 2D liney in some ways, I think does carry. But aside from that, like there's a lot of differences actually. And if you actually make some of the doodles like 3D with AI, you kind of begin to see like those differences. And that might just be something that, you know, I notice as like a absolute psychotic, you know, art person. And I'm like looking at every detail and all of that sort of thing. But it kind of was just one of those natural progressions where it's like, yo, we're not going to like go pick a fight with somebody, nor are we going to like debate over stupid bullshit. Like, you know, I clearly think that there's a difference. And if people can't see that, that's sort of up to them. And so that was sort of our approach, right? Like not necessarily trying to throw stones or anything, because that's kind of the brand in a sense. And also what I just think is this is the smart way to go about things. But yeah, that was kind of how we weathered it. A lot of people saw them and were like, oh, these are similar. Some people were like, whoa, these are so different. And then, you know, there's many takes, so on and so forth.
But that's his art. Hey, it's subjective as hell. Like, for example, like I love color and I'm a big color guy, whereas like other people don't like color. You know, they're maybe more on the plain side of things. My second question to what you said before. So you've obviously got Vibe Strategy as your token. Talk to me, because we obviously had Insight on as well, who have Chimp Strategy. And there's obviously a similar kind of question to what I just asked. Like there has been FUD around sort of, particularly because Craig and I obviously both own apes. So the whole like, oh, it takes up a bit of a part of the collection. It then floors it like and makes it a bit of a wall. It doesn't allow collectors to be collectors. There's less liquidity. Like it can be a bit of a process sort of. So I'd love to hear your perspective around how you treat it. And it was similar to Insight, I assume, is you guys have just fully gone with it. Like a big like we interviewed Spencer, maybe it was 6 months or 9 months ago. And a lot of people in the Moonbirds community were like, hold on, like you're the last sort of collection that haven't launched a token yet. Maybe it was even longer. I can't remember when we interviewed him, but it was pre-TG launch of Burb. And they were like, the community's like, well, why don't we just go with Burb Strategy? Like, why do we need another token? Because like it's separate to the brand, all that sort of stuff. But ultimately, they did go with Burb. Burb's done fairly well since it launched. But obviously, Burb Strategy, I haven't even checked it. I don't even know where it's at. So talk to me, like, how do you sort of see this whole strategy, like specifically for you guys as Vibe Strategy token for your community, your collection, but then also broadly for maybe like Pudgies or Apes or Punks as well? Like, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Well, I think that there was a lot of learnings, right? Like this concept of the token being directly connected to the NFT asset so that it's not two sort of liquidity pools that are competing against one another makes a lot of sense. And I think works really well in theory, but then you kind of come into these other sort of issues that were sort of unexpected. Like if you have all of these assets being relisted at the same exact price, then it does create a wall. And so we actually had this whole like smash the wall campaign in which we realized that, oh, it's much smarter to programmatically list these assets in a random fashion between like 1.2x to 2x versus just like 1.2x or like that same, you know, denomination every single time. And so we had this like sort of thing where we smashed the wall and we sort of broke through that buy wall. And now we have, you know, I think like it's a lot more uncapped. So the upside is really unlocked there. But it was sort of this event in which, you know, we realized like, hey, there's like a fine-tuned adjustment, something so small, right? Like changing that denominator can make such huge impact. And so when it comes to all the strategies, I think that one of the best parts about them is that they have so much upside in markets that aren't like really tough. I feel like we've been kind of in, you know, challenging market for quite some time. But like, I think that when that does flip and when things do, you know, change and when the tide turns, then they become really powerful. And the cool thing about them is that they're unemotional. And so it's not like this huge trader that's going to like dump like 200 on your head. You know, it's sort of like loaded up liquidity. If dispersed correctly, then it can become a pretty big asset, in my opinion, for the collection as a whole and really function as that flywheel as it's intended. But of course, when things are slower and when markets are tougher, you know, there's less volume in that flywheel. And so there's going to be a little bit less movement.
Yeah, and people probably and that's classic bear market things. People look for FUD. People look for the bearish side of things. So yeah, fair. That's a good take. That's a really good take, Craig. I'll hand over you as you have a drink of your water.
Is the token tradable just by itself?
Yeah. You can buy and sell the token. Yeah, you can buy it on OpenSea, I think, also on the NFT strategy site as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gnarly. I was going to ask, my question was to do with VibeTown. Run us through a little bit what VibeTown is. Is it a game? Is it a metaverse? Is it a community space? And how does it tie into the NFT itself?
I love this because, when metaverses were like really, really popular and hopping, like everyone thought like, oh my God, all these users are going to come and rush into this thing and it's going to be great. But what I think a lot of the companies didn't really understand was that there was no like emotional stickiness, right?
Yeah.
And so this concept of VibeTown is essentially like a concept. And so what it is it's a visual sort of world that's co-built by community that you see like little animations within, or, a game can take place within. But ultimately what it is in its reality and in its function is an emotional connectivity layer of a world that has depth. And so this concept of like main character and identity is really important. And so we spent like a lot of time making sure that there was a lot of traits in the collection, there was a lot of curation, and that each sort of GVC felt like a main character or could be a main character, right? Like that's kind of important when it comes to an identity layer. And so the reason that comes into play is like, if you think about like Game of Thrones, right? There's like a ton of characters. Some of them are really small, but like hella memorable. Like, Lady Mormont is a good example of this. She like had like 10 lines, but everyone knows she was this badass little, MFer up in, Winterfell, and she's really dope. And so like, in my opinion, if you're able to create like a brand that has depth and you can feel like, the trees and you can feel the flowers and you can kind of see the ocean and see the fidelity of it, right? And see your characters living within that emotional connective layer sort of activates in the brain. And then people are like, oh man, this is sick. And then, that's where IP, I think, can really shine and have its strength and have its moment when it comes to building out product and building out like the future in terms of like games and all of that stuff. It's really just about deepening that emotional connection like to the world itself. And so VibeTown is essentially the world. And so it's not like a specific product or a specific sort of thing, but I think that it's a strong concept that people can kind of connect to and imagine themselves within, in a sense. Hopefully that's a good way to articulate it. I sort of, there's a lot there, I guess.
Yeah, and you guys are other side compatible as well, aren't you? You can take your...
Yeah.
Is that good to go now?
Like, just for Craig, though. Just for Craig, yeah. No, not sorry. Our mascot's also named Craig, ironically, which is sick. But we don't have like every single GVC, full body modeled and rigged or whatever. But we did model our mascot, who's also named Craig. Shout out,
really?
Great name, brother. Yeah, did you not know that?
That hasn't been used for 80. That name
bro. Our mascot is named Craig, dude. Yeah. So yeah.
I must admit, every time an American hears my name, or a lot of Americans, I always get the Craig from Friday. Always. If you guys remember that movie Friday with Craig, I get that every time.
Yeah,
and I always find it funny how Americans say my name. They say it like it's a hybrid between Greg and Craig. It's Craig.
Craig,
I always find quite interesting. Big love to the Americans. They're big followers of ours. I must admit, we get a lot of people from brands and companies coming on the show, and you're definitely one of the more pumped ones, man. It's great. It's great to get someone on here so positive, dude.
It's cool to, I don't know, whenever I'm meeting new folks and, there's the energy's really good. Like, dude, I'm like freaking pumped. So I don't know. I'm just,
I appreciate it.
I'm just having a good time,
And I love those pictures in the background there, dude. That reminds me of a Greenie wall, actually. Greenie would be digging that, all the colors.
Literally, Craig. That is sick, dude.
Yeah,
I saw your tweet from May 22nd, Chris, with all the colors, like the three, like across, like you had the dark, the rainbow, the purple, like the space. Like I saw that, and it is electric when you're collecting like different pieces of the same sort of theme, if you want to call it that, in terms of that. So I love that. Yeah. I mean, if I had endless money, Craig, I've said this before, and like anytime we have, like we had Betty on as well. Like if I had endless money, I would love to I'd have this whole wall full of NFTs, man. I don't have the endless
doodles.
money.
I'd love some good vibes and some doodles. I think the vibe's so good, isn't it? I've always dug the art. I'm not massive into color, but I think the way good vibes...
We have grayscales, brother. We do have grayscales.
I just saw your cosmic traits.
Ooh, the cosmic guardians, bro. Yeah, that's the one of the
those. I don't know if Greenie can bring them up at the same time. It might be hard.
Hold on, I'll try to do that.
They look amazing. I've actually never gone through the collection and looked at the traits. I must admit, I've never done it. It's just I guess you know what, I should have done it, being so into NFTs, but it's just one of those things you don't always get around to it, do you? Until you actually have someone on the show like you, and then
it's kicked Chris off. Hold on.
There we go, dude. There we go. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Let's go.
That'll do for now.
Dude, look at that collection, man. These are all
bro,
mine, so I'm freaking pumped, dude. You know?
Insane.
Dude,
I
thank
love
you.
Star Wars.
Hold on, boys. Let me fix this a bit better. Chat, you're gonna have to go off for a little bit.
Dude, I'm glad that you said that, because those are like that red dude was the second GVC I bought post reveal in like the first 10 minutes. So like someone listed, I was like, boom, back in the day I got it for like half an ETH, and now they would go for much higher, but that's one of my favorite ones. Like that red one and the blue one, those are the only two in the collection that have the pilot jacket and the helmet combo. And so I call them the Mavericks, and I have these little like jets that they fly around and whatnot. But yeah, man,
it reminds me. It's very Star Wars-esque. It reminds me of like not a stormtrooper, but the snipers. Like I mean, it's so funny. Like
Mandalorian kind of vibes.
Yeah,
right?
Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I love Star Wars, dude. I'm such a nerd for that shit.
Same, dude. I mean, it takes me back. I played Star Wars Battlefield 1 and Star Wars Battlefield 2, and they were like my favorite games.
I was just playing Battlefield last month with my son, just to show
how good is it, dude? How good is it? And,
awesome. It's sick.
Yeah, no, those characters remind me of that. So no, yeah, like I mean, the color. That's what I mean. Like it's you can tell that there's effort being put into this collection. There's effort being put into trait diversification, and that's bullish for the community, bullish for holders, bullish for, I mean, the whole ecosystem of art from a collector standpoint, and that's what I like to see as well. Talk to us like what now? So you shipped a game. You've got, as I see on your website, you've got a lot happening. Like you've obviously got badges. That's a big thing I can see here as well. Like, is that like, what is there incentives here? Talk to us about like if people were new to the community or looking to buy, or even if people like DGMD, I don't know who that is, owns 100. I mean, has 101 out of 101 badges. Like, is that going towards something? Talk to fill us in from a novice perspective.
So badges are essentially, your collector journey, right? And they automatically are, added to your profile and then removed based on your holdings. And so your badges, like if you collect like a cosmic, you get like a cosmic badge, or, if you own one of the Ranger helmets, that's like one of the Ranger helmet badges. And so all of that kind of like coagulates to then function. You go back to Vibe strategy, right? Like we have a 1% fee of our token that's been accruing into a pool that has NFTs and also token in it that'll ultimately be distributed to our community via rewards. And so we have this rewards pool that's been accruing, and basically, essentially, based on your badge holdings, that's how you will sort of claim out of that rewards pool. We have some more information to come on that soon, so keep your guys' eyes peeled for 6/9, because that's GVC day, since like collections like 6/9/6/9. So June 9th. We'll have a little bit more information there, and it'll be really fun. But yeah, like basically badges are the alpha when it comes to rewards, that rewards pool. If you want to actually go to vibestrategy.eth, you can go there. There's also a punk that we purchased from the Node Foundation in that pool that someone will receive, which is really cool. And so,
that'd be great.
Yeah, man. So
that would be fantastic. Dude. Imagine if I just bought one of these and then won a punk. That'd be so great.
Yeah.
So these are the highest sold, aren't they? That Greenie's got up on the screen here. For those who can't see, we're just looking at the ones that sold for the highest price. Some of these are insane.
They're epic.
That looks insane with the color, the rainbow, the bucket hat, and
dude,
stuff.
Chill Vibes guy. Thanks, man.
That's
he's the only ape in the whole collection. He's the only ape in the whole collection, which is kind of fun because, like, when we were making a lot of the honoraries before the mint, like there was obviously many apes that were made, right? Like G Monies, and then later we made Adam Weitzman's. And, there's many others, but having an ape character felt like such an important, like sort of nod to, BAYC. They do exactly. And so, yeah, man. So he kind of had to be in there. He's one of my faves. He's a super chill dude. Nothing can disrupt his vibe. And so, yeah man.
No, very, 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 very cool. Very, very cool. I see, did the OpenSea Reserve grab one of your NFTs today?
Yeah. They bought a blue pilot. It's like all blue. It's a blue plastic mono pilot. It's freaking sick in there. Like the OpenSea Grails collection sort of thing, which is really, really cool. They're also co-sponsoring our hackathon, by the way, which is called the Vibeathon. And so there's going to be some prizes in there from OpenSea as well. which is really cool because we're just encouraging people to basically what we did with that was we built the CLI and we have all of our brand assets that we use internally to like build stuff and like ship. And so we thought it would be really cool to just turn this over to the community, empower them, teach them how we use it, give them all the tools to everything, and then let them create stuff. And then, there's obviously going to be prizes for, the best sort of things to come out of the Vibathon. And so OpenSea is co-sponsoring that. That's really fun. And I think that it's going to be a blast. It ends here June 5th, I believe. So we have a couple weeks left, but it's been really cool. There's been a lot of really dope little apps and games that have been kind of made in the mix that I've seen previews of.
Very cool. Very cool. Have you guys thought about you guys haven't done figurines? Have you any or collectibles like that? Have you?
Not physical figurines yet, but I really want to get into that. We do that. We have like a monthly sort of like open edition, just collectors series that comes with like physical posters that some folks can win, which are really fun. Those are called the Vibetown High Key Moments. And really what that is sort of like just a low cost, like snapshot into like a moment into the brand. Right. And then some folks can have the physicals. I actually have mine up on my wall right here. It's these dudes. And so those are really cool. And they're kind of like this movie poster-esque sort of a vibe. But it's just another kind of cool way to continue to build the lore of the world and, activate alongside community, because when those release, people are like prompting like different stories in those different locations. Like the superhero character, that like electric dude, his name's Super Vibe. We built like a minute-long sort of like short animation for him. And when we released his in March, there was a bunch of content around him, which was really cool, on the timeline that people were creating. And so that was a lot of fun, but it's just a really good time.
How are you guys finding, sorry to jump in, Greedy, how are you guys finding, like, I see you're on Instagram, then YouTube, how are you finding your traction on things like Instagram and things like that? Like, obviously you guys are using that to get your brand out there amongst a bunch of people that probably don't typically see what we see on the timeline on X. How are you finding the responses been to that?
It's been not our primary focus initially because we really wanted to cultivate in that first year, especially cultivating like your core community and really kind of maintaining your crypto nativity, we felt was quite important. And so it's been something that we're slowly sort of getting into now. And obviously that's really important in sort of like the longer term vision of the brand and that moat and kind of building that as you want to build that IP. But, we really wanted to start with like kind of strengthening that core community on X and on CT and within the crypto sort of world, right? Because, that is sort of like the superpower before you kind of then branch out and then take on these other sort of, big lifts when it comes to brand building from the ground up. And so that's been really cool to kind of like begin, but it's in its early phases for sure.
That's I mean, there's so much here to unpack, and I mean, we probably don't have a lot of time to keep on going through it. But Chris, talk to us like, so in a year's time, 2 years time, where do you want Good Vibes Club to be? What's the goal? What's the focus? We asked that question to a few different NFT founders over the last couple of weeks, and their answers are always fascinating. And I'd love to hear your perspective. Like, what is the goal over the next couple of years as we hopefully get back into better market conditions? Definitely.
I think that building the brand and maintaining crypto nativity is important, but also like when I think about GVC, I don't think of like the next 2 years. I think of like the next 5 or 10 years, because if you're really aiming big and trying to, like, everyone says, oh, I'm going to be like the next Pokemon, or, oh, like I'm going to be the next thing. That shit takes time. And if you want to do it right, it takes a lot of effort and it takes a lot of consistency. And so I'm sort of like of the mind of like, oh, I really want to build like this really strong IP. And obviously that's going to take time, and it's going to take like, consistency and daily, day in and day out, sort of like really, really putting the effort forth. And so when I think about GVC, I'm more so thinking like, oh, what could it look like in 5 or 10 years, when there's a huge, significant global reach and the brand that appeals, that's intentionally designed to appeal to sort of like every demographic, has that ability to proliferate and then, hopefully have positive impact, whether you're like a kid, like 3 years old, like my son, or, 40, 50, 60, 70-year-old individual, right? Like, I think that that's important. And so the question for me is a little bit more so along the lines of, how do you see like the IP, or at least how I interpret it, is like, how do you see the IP evolving over time? And I think that that's just sort of like the growth of any IP. And if you really want to be successful, you really, again, you need that emotional connectivity, right? Because it's not just about like, oh, can I like, make the sickest, character go viral or whatever? That's really important. But then like, is someone going to care about that in like a year? Or is someone going to like think back to when Jon Snow died and have like a, emotional response to that? Like that is it, like that's the freaking vibe, right? If you can kind of build that narrative, that storytelling, that emotional connectivity, that's where I think that long-term value is and true intrinsic value becomes. And then that's when collectibles really, like are huge. And so I think that that's just sort of my outlook on it. It's a little bit more longer term, but I think that that's kind of what makes sense.
I like that perspective. Like you look at Pokemon
animated series or anything, Chris?
That's literally I was going to ask that question.
It's just like perfect for it. It's perfect.
We don't have anything in concrete in the works as of yet, but I mean, I would absolutely love to kind of see how some of those things could transpire. Right now we're really doing a lot of short form content, but I think that like really like minute long, like short films has kind of been our sort of bread and butter when it comes to what we've done for like the Googles and so on of the world. But I could absolutely see, like episodic content later on down the line. And that's definitely something that we want to kind of explore in the future.
And is your goal to always try and drive like whatever the initiative is, like your games, your badges, your reward system? Is it always to drive it back to the community? Is community literally at the forefront of GVC?
Absolutely. And I think that you can kind of see that by like how much we've sort of like given back to our community. We actually have given back like over, I think 1 million, more than we raised from our mint back into our community, which has been really cool. And, the vibe strategy sort of flywheel, that sort of like concept isn't just like a one-time, thing. And so our rewards pool continues to accrue based on token volume indefinitely forever. And so the badges aren't like just a one-time like TGE like event where you claim something and then it's done. It's like, no, it's like if you're a collector, the concept is, if you ride with us over time, then you can kind of claim over various multiple cycles that we go through, and that rewards pool continues to build back up after it's sort of distributed. So I think that that's a good way to do it. It's always been what I've wanted as a community member and in many other communities, and so that's sort of our outlook.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. Craig, any last questions for Chris at all?
Where do most of your community sort of form themselves? Is it on your site or is it on a Discord?
Discord. I would say Discord. Yeah.
Discord's where. So if someone wanted to, figure out, I guess, get started, join up with you guys, and kind of feel the best vibes they can. It's basically, I did put the link in the description, and I did post it before. I'll put it again. So jump on OpenSea, grab one, and then it's token gated access to the Discord.
No.
I take it.
It's not actually. So our sort of philosophy is that we want to create a community that's sort of like inclusive, that like, anyone can kind of come hang out and can come check it out. We have one sort of main channel. I mean, there's obviously like other little channels. Like right now we have the Vibathon stuff going on, but like generally speaking, we have like one channel that everyone kind of hangs out in. And obviously, you're going to have like a different name color if you're a holder or not. But the concept is that it's not like, everyone can kind of check out the vibes for themselves and then decide if they want to partake in the community. And you don't have to be a holder in order to hang out in Gen Chat and like cultivate relationships. And so the other part about GVC that, I didn't really get to talk about much was that like our vision for community is like mixing the IRL with, the digital and ultimately cultivating relationships. And so, we want to have these sort of meetup events. We've had a couple like over the I guess year that we've been around. We had a really dope event at the Super Rare Gallery at NFT NYC last year, did some stuff for Art Basel, but like this concept of like the IRL, like hanging out when you're face to face, I think is really powerful. I also think relationships are powerful, especially if they're the right people who are kind of like like-minded and, in that similar sort of lane that you're in. I think that there's a lot of value there. And so that's one of the elements of like wanting to allow and sort of cultivate for relationships, whether you're a holder or not. And then the concept is if you're kind of getting these, developing these friendships, these relationships that you find valuable, obviously that sort of permeates, and then, people want to start collecting and whatnot. And so that's the philosophy. And so, jump in the Discord, say what's up. You'll get a really warm welcome. Myself and Ty, we're active in there all the freaking time. And so come say hi.
I mean, Figgy said the same thing. Like IRL is so important. I want to ask: are you focusing globally, or like it obviously needs to start at least somewhere? Like for BAYC, it's obviously going to be the clubhouse. What's your goal to? Because it's hard for us. Like arguably we probably associate with more people internationally than we do with Aussies, but there are a lot of Aussies in crypto, Web3, NFTs. It's a very small minority. So I would love to hear like what's your plan to focus on IRL, but also deal with the global nature of what crypto sort of entails?
I think that it's been there's been a reason why a lot of the meetups happen at events because, like you said, people are like everywhere. Like even our team is like all freaking over, dude. We got,
Yeah.
All these different states and whatnot. And, ourselves, we're down in Puerto Rico. And so like, dude, there's people sort of everywhere. So in terms of like meetups, what it makes sense is like around conferences and whatnot and so on. But then hopefully like down the line, when I think that things are a bit more mature, having that sort of permanent, location like BAYC has is really freaking cool as a concept. Now, I don't know how functional that'll be when like everyone from, Australia wants to come over on the other side of the world or whatever. Like maybe that's functional, maybe not, but for like meeting up around events just makes a ton of sense logistically, at least right now, because that's when you're going to get the most sort of like bang for your buck when it comes to holders, right? And so our strategy is we want to get over to Europe. We did NFC Lisbon last year. We're not able to get there this year, but we try to go to Europe. We try to do a lot of stuff in the States, of course, but we'll see what happens down the line in terms of like that sort of like global reach, because folks are really international, man. Like our community is truly all over.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. I mean, shout out to all the Market Mates community because we're across the globe as well. We very much appreciate everyone. All right, Chris, any last comments you want to make, or any like secret alpha you want to reveal, or where should people go to follow or stay up to date with what's happening with GVC?
Honestly, just hit us up on Twitter. We have a lot of cool stuff happening right now. Like there's art contests, there's Vibathon, but most importantly, like if you really are vibing with us, please come say hi in the Discord, because that's where we want to like literally connect with you, chat with you, learn about you, and say what up, dude. Because ultimately, we're here to make friends. We're here to meet people and establish those relationships, because that shit is dope. So come say hi for real.
No, I love that. I love that. No, on behalf of Craig and I, thank you so much for jumping on today, Chris. It's super cool to chat with. I mean, this is a collection I don't really know too much about, so it's great to
hopefully more soon, dude. We'll see.
I know. I mean,
like, let's go.
As I said before, if I had endless money, I would be buying. And I would probably not buy. I would like to buy something that represents greenie. That would be for sure. So it would fit on the brand. But we'll have to see. Maybe there's something that crosses my radar soon if it gets to a fair value, and maybe I'll join you. But no, Chris, thanks so much for jumping on, and I'm sure we'll probably have you back very much in the future. That's for sure.
Amazing, dude. Thank you guys so much. It's been a blast. And thanks for having me on and really kicking it. Honestly, you guys have such a good energy. Really love everything that you're doing. It was really cool for me to even listen to kind of like the market side of things, which I'm not like as active in, which was really freaking sick in terms of like all the meme coin stuff. But loved hanging out, man. Love chatting. Thanks again for having me on, bro. And have a great time. Have a great night.
Yeah, thanks Chris. Thanks for jumping on, Legend. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thanks, Legend.
Oh, dude, I would love to buy one, genuinely. Like, it's such a sick collection. Like, even if you look at the floor right now, like, there's some sick ones on there, Craig. So, maybe that's a collection that we'll have to, I mean, it's so hard. We have all these NFT.
Endless money pit, though, isn't it?
I know, dude. It's like, yeah,
That is one of probably the top 10, though, I'd say, for me.
Dude, I would, definitely in the top 10 for me. As I said, like, I'm a big fan of art and particularly colorful art, and also traits and a focus on community. I think that's a big one for me, that you don't get to really see too often. Like a lot. I mean, the founders we've had on, they're all probably people who arguably understand what it's like to actually run a sustainable NFT project over a long period of time, and that's probably why they're the ones that are winning and will continue to win deep into the future, because they get the point of view that it stems on community first. Like, sure, like it's IP, business, revenue, it matters because you need to pay yourself, you need to pay the business, all that sort of stuff. But when you put community first, I think that says a lot about you as a person, but also you as a director for the direction of where that community or that project is kind of heading, Craig. So, I mean, like, dude, there's some sick ones just even here, a little bit above the floor at about 0.8 ETH. So, yeah, dude, it's. I mean, I just want to spend money, but I don't want to spend money. That's the thing with collections like this.
Same here. I need to get some wins under my belt before I start plowing more money into NFTs for a bit. I need to make some more money on some AI tokens, Greenie. So that'll be my focus for the next couple of days. Like I said, there might be a little cheeky entry on VVV coming up.
I am
And
watching.
there's so there's a couple of coins I've got my eyes on now, and I'm loading up my wallets, and I want to swing at a few things, man, but I want to cut a couple of comfy holds, eh? So I don't know if SERV's going to be that one. I know you pretty balls deep in there, Greenie. So told Craig to get his coins out of his purse. Yeah, I'm trying to, Beam. I don't know what I need. I need to get some fiat into crypto is what I need to do. And then I need to plow some money in. But no, good chat today, dude. Good to have Good Vibes on. We haven't spoken to them. You know what? Might have to get a failed NFT project on and see how bad a founder can be. Compare and contrast.
We forgot to mention to Chris that traditionally NFT projects that have come on Market Mates have resulted in a price pump after their interview. It happened to Bored Ape Yacht Clubs, it happened to Deadfellas, it happened to Chimpers, and potentially might happen to GVC as well. No, Chris seems like such a dope dude. And I love that, man. And like you said, it's so easy to talk to people who have common interests. And I would still argue crypto is still a minority. So it's nice to chat to people across the world, literally Puerto Rico, who are still fascinated by the same sort of direction as us, Craig.
Yeah, no, super cool to get someone positive on there and just easy to talk to. But no, I need to go buy some coins, Greenie. I see, what's his name? Star, bloody, the guy you follow?
Star Platinum.
Star Platinum is shilling the living hell out of these AI tokens I'm looking at. I need
Star Platinum. OX Sammy or D Farmer? Who are we talking about?
Nah, Star Platinum.
Star Platinum. He usually just bloody does like day-to-day posts. Is he shilling stuff now? What's he talking about?
Shilling.
So he wrote an article last night. Okay, so now he's limited to AI content only.
Yeah, he's lost his mind in the best possible way.
Literally holy shit, bro, in the last 6 hours, he's posted.
Yeah, he's going ham, man. Before I buy any, it's like, stop.
He's literally just posted so much about AI, and he wrote an article about it. So
he actually put a few bangers in there, though. There's some he's got some good coins on there. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. Well, like, it's so true, though. Like, his comment here about Zero Bro going to 800 million, GOAT going to 1.3 billion. That's, like, if you think about VVV and OpenServe, who actually have fundamental businesses that are scaling. Bro, the upside of this, and that's what I mean, like, even I get nervous. Like, I do get nervous. I told my wife this morning, yeah, look, love, I've got probably 25 to 30 grand in OpenServe. And she's like, okay, as long as it's a smart regulator, and I was like, yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. But I was also like, shit, man, I just bought like a bit in the $50-60 million range. And it could correct. Like, don't get me wrong, it could pull back to the 30s, but I'll probably be pretty keen to get some more there if it does pull back. So
I think we're gonna be millionaires on those coins, Greenie.
Oh, Craig, none of that chat on this show. Nothing on this show is financial advice, guys. It's entertainment, education purposes. Only tongue-in-cheek sort of conversations we like to have.
Yeah, we millionaires, just us.
Do we want to keep? I'm happy to keep going if you want. Like, I mean, the show's been going for an hour and 20, or we can cut it off there.
Cover anything you need to. Have you got other things you want to go over?
No. I mean, we can talk about what Star's kind of talking about here, about like some of the tweets and stuff. I don't know. Like, I mean, it's such a good conversation. We still got good engagement across YouTube, but I don't mind. Like, I mean, we need to. I mean, you don't want to be tired all day and all that sort of stuff. So, point being, when you fellas stopping by the farm, good to see you, goats. No, we'll cop it there and leave more conversation for tomorrow, because AI is absolutely thriving right now, and it's definitely. I mean, if you're silly if you're not looking into it. It's like the most obvious narrative. It's like so obvious, man.
In fact, we already are. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. It's not you might be silly if you're not.
Near up
really are silly.
Near up 2.2x.
There's no other gains in the market, man.
No.
Like where? What? Like, I can't find any. If there's any traction anywhere, tell me, please, viewers. I'm not seeing anything apart from those ones we've been going over for the last month. I mean, what, your big caps? No thanks. Maybe Ton, as far as the big cap goes, but it starts getting pickings from there, man.
Let's look that up just to show. Like, I mean, someone Loshme posted, who's another good follower on Twitter. He posted a tweet saying,
Yeah, he's been going pretty hard on these as well.
Oh, he's an engagement beta, but he's good at it.
I didn't realize he had his finger on the pulse as well as this, to be honest. I thought he was more of a just engagement person.
Oh, I think more. It's funny, like those sort of people turn into like. I mean, those sort of the people that are the next whale dot swooshes who will be where whale is these days, sort of like up in the 100+ K follower sort of region, right? Yeah, I think there'll be a violent repricing is the tweet that he said of like the top 10 tokens. I mean, Zcash obviously is probably going to continue. Hyperliquid's going to continue. The trouble with the top 10 is you've got 2 crime tokens here, Craig. I'm going to let you comment on them. Which 2 tokens in the top 10 would you which tokens do you think I'm talking about as crime tokens?
BNB?
Yep.
BNB and probably Tron.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you look at those 2 founders, they crime their tokens. Like, so
but does that mean Asta? Does that mean Asta's going to have its time in the sun, bro?
Yes. I honestly, I've seen a few people be like, come on, bro.
I need to buy some.
A few people are like, come on, man. Like, CZ is the biggest coal in the industry. He's only ever bought 2 tokens. Like, I honestly, Craig, this chart, I mean, let's pull up the Asta chart because it is, it's just crazy. Look at this price action, bro. It's crazy.
like a razor, eh? It's like such a tight range, bro. It's like,
but they're obviously controlling it. So perhaps this is just, I mean, it might be just worth a bit of a bag. As always, not financial.
I was talking to a guy yesterday, Alpha Sane, shout out to Alpha Sane. And he was talking to me about it, and his thesis was similar to that, just CZs behind it. And possibly, I mean, this is a thesis lots of people had on assets, nothing unique, but I think I got forgotten about that at some point. CZ is going to crime this probably against Hype. And he was talking to me about, obviously, Hype is a token that a lot of Americans are trading on. Mm-hmm. And he said Asta's more of your Chinese community. And
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, and I didn't either. And I was like, yeah, you know what? This might be worth a bid. As ugly and unsexy as it is, sometimes these sorts of plays can actually make quite good money. It just this chart, I mean, look, it could go lower, guys, not financial advice. I'm just looking at this and thinking, what if? Like, what if that sends? What if he sends that? What if he crimes it?
It sits at second for volume in the past 24 hours. Sits second behind Hyperliquid for volume over the past 30 days. So Hyperliquid obviously sits first, undoubtedly, like 4x or 3x compared to Asta over the past 7 days, and yeah, about the same 4x over the past 30. But that's still a lot of volume, 47 billion. Like, it's still more than GM Trade, EdgeX, Lighter. Yeah, dude. Okay, I mean, someone clip this. Yeah, this will be crime $2. This will be crime back to $2. Like, it will be.
It's one of those ones when he brought it to my attention and I looked at the chart, I was like, wait a minute.
So do you just buy some spot here? Like, I don't know. Do you buy spot? Do you open a leverage and get wrecked on funding over the next 6 months while they control the supply literally in the same market maker? Like, see, the trouble is, like, if you're looking to, like, long this, like, say your target's back towards the GP of the whole range, stop loss, like, I mean, it's a 3.5 R&R, but, like, that's a dip of 41%. Not that I don't think it does that, but, like, you could easily have if you look at this low time frame range, it's like, they're wrecking longs and shorts, like, consistently. Like, look at this, like, wrecking so much,
He's so much, isn't he?
wrecking on the mid range as well. It's crazy, man. It is actually crazy. So
I think spot, man, for me on that.
I've tried to swing trade this a few times. It hasn't been that friendly.
No, I think for me, I'm tempted to buy a bag and just let this bad boy ride for years,
and then walk away with. See, the trouble is, like, I don't think they'll be able to crime it too much. Like, they could crime it back to maybe an all-time high, which is only a 2.5x move. Like, it's not a lot, but
I've heard people mentioning, and I want to get your take on this. What's your take on if Hype is required for people to KYC?
Oh, that's the bearish side of Hyperliquid.
Like,
And that it'll happen. It has to happen. Like,
I think it has to happen with regulations and the Clarity Act and everything. Surely,
with the amount of volume they're doing, it has to happen legally.
There's a massive target on Hype's back for me. And that makes me edgy, because I wanted in on it, and now it's at all-time high. I'm like, shucks, there's a lot of, now I feel like the risk's higher for me now than it was. I just, what are your thoughts? If they require KYC,
my thoughts are my airdrop just dumped by 2%, 10% in the past hour. I was in a long stop to break even. So there's SLX there, guys, for the Solstice. So, hey, this is hey, are they going to crime this? Talking about crime. Can you crime Solstice to like decent levels so when I can sell it, it's at a decent price? Anyway, sorry, what was it?
3 months? Is that when you get to get the majority of yours out? I get
77,000 tokens on July 4th.
You might be all right by then.
I don't know, dude. But hey, I'm top 60.
Oh yeah.
So I think so. I think I'm around the 40th person.
Yeah, you're in a really good spot.
Well, I hope so. As long as they hold the token up, we'll wait and see. What was your question? Sorry, my apologies.
Hype. If they KYC it, what happens to the price?
Look at, okay, guys. Hey, who on Twitter literally last night said, hey, be careful at this region. Hey, we'll wait and see. I can't wait for it to trade back down here. Can't wait. Let's go. No, just kidding.
$28 entry on its way.
Oh, dude. Hey, yeah, I've got my $12 weekly. Oh, Greeny said $12. Yeah, bro, your analysis can change. You got to adapt as a trader. I have a buy entry at $26 because my analysis changed, okay? Greeny said this. Yeah, fucking traders say shit all the time, bro. Like, be active.
People think your call is like set in stone.
Yeah, he's cementing it in history as the only thing he's living. No, dude. As a trader, you have to be flexible. You have to be fluid. You have to go with the flow.
You're wrong sometimes. Just like
you have to be willing to accept you will be wrong. And I'm fucking wrong. I get shit wrong all the time. But I know
it's the acceptance of being wrong that's the important part, eh? It really, it's the hardest part because no human likes to say they're wrong. You speak to anybody about when they make a mistake, everyone gets, most people don't like talking about mistakes they made.
They're defensive, bro. And I would argue it takes a real human, a real person to acknowledge when they're wrong. And if you
makes
can
you powerful if you can. You're almost indestructible if you can. Because what
as a trader,
say to you then? They're like, you were wrong. You're like, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
As a trader, it's going to be it's even more important, I would say, than just an everyday sort of human. So yeah, big levels here down to. I mean, we've already retested I said this to GTG this morning. We've already retested the second standard deviation of the VWAP here into that order block as a retest. That previous week 3-day candle here down to 54, and then that bounce. So that shows me strength as well. And the strength is we flipped the VWAP here. We flipped the VWAP and never looked back. We just kept on going like that. That shows you, okay, this was respected for a period of time. We got up, respected, flipped it, support, bang, off to the races. Yeah. So, like, you can't argue with the strength literally in the chart here. Even at $34 was probably, I mean, I had only recently started using the VWAP and point of control and stuff like that, volume profiles. If I knew that and looked at that here, like, that is beautiful. That's as beautiful as a setup as you can get, literally. And then you probably could have looked for a long up towards this previous high here. I mean, you would have been targeting potentially this order block up here as well. But like, you stop loss below that previous low and you're laughing, So that's what I mean. Like, I'm growing my trading knowledge. I'm educating GTG in real time as I continue to perfection. You will never get to perfection. You'll never know everything as a trader. No trader knows everything.
Right? It's just
improving your consistency, your confluence, your ability to read things ahead of time. It is interesting. I mean, like, Render had a really nice breakout over the last few days. VVV is at a very crucial level here on low time frames. We have had a few sell orders step in here, so maybe it's not going to dump just yet, but I am watching this level for a potential short. We'll just wait and see if that does want to happen or not. But yeah, interesting time in the market, Craig. I mean, BTC 77 looks pretty bearish here, bro. I mean, I would love to short again into my 81 short, but maybe we don't get that. Really nice reaction off the sort of golden pocket here from the swing low, but it looks as though we probably head back towards the daily order block down here where the VWAP is as well. So wait and see what happens over the coming week or so. But I mean, if you look at this chart, if I turn off, if I go to a different one, where is it? Yeah, if you look at this, like, it's not a very strong chart. Like, that's not very strong at all. Like, the golden pocket sits all the way down here, 53. Look, it'd be very interesting if Bitcoin trades back to 60K region, even back towards this weekly order block here. It's sort of $67,000. If it trades back towards that partial order block down there, what happens to the rest of the market? Does some of the AI tokens go sideways? Do they continue to pump, or do they go down with it? And I would argue we've already seen a displacement of AI in terms of near outperforming, in terms of VVV outperforming. I mean, like we spoke about this earlier in the week, this bottomed at the same time that crypto topped, and look at it after that period of time, November, October last year, right? So I think people are starting to wake up to the realization that, and I am too, that AI doesn't necessarily need to trade on the back of Bitcoin. Sure, it helps in bull market conditions, in lucrative conditions where liquidity is strong, volume strong, active traders is high, opportunity therefore is thriving. Yeah, these tokens are going to go ballistic, like without a doubt. But ultimately, if we've already seen that displacement of tokens thriving in this environment when Bitcoin is still macro weakness. I mean, we just put in a lower macro high. You could argue perhaps they continue to outperform even if Bitcoin chops sideways or corrects down to 50, 60K.
It looks like that may be the case. It's showing strength against Bitcoin dropping. Maybe it's decoupling, so to speak.
Yeah.
Which is what you're looking for in a bear market, really. Anything that can show strength against Bitcoin is like a godsend right now for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I don't know, Mohammed. I don't want to block you from the channel, but please, don't say words like that on screen.
I don't even know what that means. XLM or Monero's a play. Are you considering that as a beta play?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Where do you buy it? Like we spoke about that recently. Like after on the back of Zcash.
We did
like
have a look at these, yeah.
Yeah, like this is a very nice grinding up chart over a long period of time. For me specifically, I have to just wait and see. I'll have to wait and see what happens here with XMR. But I mean, you're grinding up against resistance that's been resistant since 2017, and you had that that privacy crime. You could say this was a whole crime candle late last year with Zcash running to wherever it ran to as well, $900. Didn't it get to 700 or 1,000? I can't remember. I mean, you've got, as we said earlier in the show, you've got Ansem talking about Zcash literally every day to millions of people. So, yeah, look, privacy makes a lot of sense. I get it, but it's also like we spoke about this previously. It's like, well, what has better upside? The more tradable, accessible one being Zcash, which you choose whether it's private or not, or something that's genuinely private, that being Monero, and hard to get your actual hands on to own this token. I mean, chuck it on a ledger, walk away. Probably not a bad trade. I mean, like anytime, if you bought it anytime sort of in a bear market period, it's historically done fairly well. It has historically done fairly well. But I don't know. It's a tough one. Have you looked into it deeper than that, Craig? I don't know.
Not as much as I should, but my understanding of it is, or my limited understanding was, if you want true privacy, this is probably the one. But this, I suppose it depends if you're more bullish on actual privacy or the narrative of privacy, from what I'm seeing. But I might have that. I mean, I got to be careful, because part of my opinion is based on what other people have told me and other people who are telling me that have bags. So, I need
bags
to look
of Monero.
Yes, or consequently of Zcash. So people argue both ways, but I probably need to go and look under the hood of both of them properly for myself. Specifically XMR. I haven't really been with the time.
Very interesting.
To see if it actually solves the problem or not.
Which is why I'm bullish on Telegram/Ton. Like it makes sense.
Well, there's a use case, a real use case, and there's a lot of people. We just looked it up. 1 billion people, active users.
Like a lot of I wonder how many paid users they have. I don't pay for it, but I know you pay for it. Like it'd be interesting to know.
Yeah.
How much revenue?
I think they've probably got a fair amount of paid users as well. So. Yeah, it could be a shout out there. Maybe I need there's a few coins now. It's nice. It's actually nice to have to look at charts and make
bit of research, mate. That's bear market for you. Opportunities are thriving. I think we call it there. That's 90 minutes of the show, guys. If you appreciate content like this, and if you are new here, drop follow, Market Makes, Greeny Trades, Craig's Coin Purse, or subscribe if you're on YouTube. It's literally free. Press the subscribe button. Like the video because it helps the algo recognize it as well. Shout out to everyone who's watching on Market Mates as well. Literally click subscribe, please, right now if you are watching on Market Mates YouTube. And obviously, if you want clips or you want up-to-date takes, go to Market Mates on X as well. And if you listen back on podcasts, please click follow / give us a little 5-star rating. It does go a long way. We very much appreciate it. Sorry, Mohammed, I don't know that token, so I can't comment on it in the chat. I do apologize. I haven't ever heard of it. Craig, you have a lovely, what day is it? Tuesday? You have a lovely Tuesday. And we'll be back same time tomorrow, guys, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, talking everything AI, talking everything crypto, talking everything that is important to markets in real time. So I hope you guys appreciate that. Craig, have a lovely day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks, Lee.